Studies have shown, and it has also been recently confirmed by both witnesses and the most competent authorities, that water is wet and that the grass tends to be greener during summertime. By the same token, studies have shown, and it has also been recently confirmed by both witnesses and the most competent authorities, that Islamic State terrorists did in fact come with the migration wave that is now in Europe, and that more Islamic terrorists tend to come when the groups are larger. Let's explore. Hello everyone, and welcome to the Freedom Alternative. On February the 4th, the Wall Street Journal published a members-only article titled "France Shaken by New Terror Revelation." Now, I can't read you the entire article because that would be against terms of service, but it's essentially an interview with an eyewitness, a woman who has actually spoken with Islamic terrorists stationed in Paris, France. But here are some excerpts, some of them featured on the Associated Press as well. Quote, "Woman says leader of Paris attacks told her dozens of Islamic State militants entered Europe with him. The presumed leader of the Islamic State operatives who attacked Paris in November boasted that he slipped into Europe among refugees from Syria as part of a team of dozens of militants, according to a key witness. He was proud of himself, that was the worst. He appeared to fear no one, a superman. He talked about it as though he was shopping and had gotten a bargain on a box of detergent. She said the Islamic State group commander told her that he entered France without documents among a group of 90 people that had scattered around the Paris region. She accused him of killing innocent people, which he denied, and challenged the death of Muslims that night. Those, she said, he described as collateral damage. She asked him whether he had come in with Syrian refugees, and he told her he came in a group without any documents. There are Syrians, Iraqis, French, Germans, British. We came in a group of 90, and we're a little bit everywhere around Paris." When asked about the Stade de France strike, the exact words of his response were, quote, "There were some failures. I'm here to make sure there will be no more." End of quote. What? You're not shocked? Come on, be shocked! You're supposed to be shocked. Okay, let me try to shock you with this one from Reuters. German spy agency says the Islamic State is sending fighters disguised as refugees. Islamic State militants have slipped into Europe disguised as refugees, the head of Germany's domestic intelligence agency, BVV, said on Friday, a day after security forces thwarted a potential Islamic State attack in Berlin. Hans-Jörg Maassen said the terrorist attacks in Paris last November had shown that Islamic State was deliberately planting terrorists among the refugees flowing into Europe. Then we have repeatedly seen that terrorists have slipped in camouflaged or disguised as refugees. This is a fact that the security agencies are facing, Maassen told ZDF television. "We are trying to recognize and identify whether there are still more Islamic State fighters or terrorists from Islamic State that have slipped in," he added. The Berliner Zeitung newspaper cited Maassen on Friday as saying that the BVV had received more than 100 tip-offs that there were Islamic State fighters among the refugees currently staying in Germany. Come on, don't tell me you're still not shocked. You're supposed to be shocked. Because if you aren't, that means you're a racist, sexist, Islamophobic, unprogressive, anti-diversity scumlord. Or something. I'm not very good with these leftist slurs. Not today, anyway. Staying in the German-speaking world, Vienna has been receiving quite a lot of cultural enrichment as well. First, it was an American nanny who was so progressive that she actually helped an enabler of cultural enrichment to hide away from the racist, bigoted, Islamophobic, unprogressive Austrian authorities by giving him shelter in her apartment in Vienna. In return, Lauren Mann was culturally enriched by having a mattress held on her face until she was permanently enriched. Also in Vienna, a 10-year-old boy was culturally enriched at a swimming pool. The process was less complex and the boy only needed hospitalization and not a funeral, but hey, baby steps. Progress through cultural enrichment is a complicated business. A couple of months ago, I said that I have a very hard time believing that the Löfven cabinet in Sweden, even with the best intentions and resources properly allocated, can do too much to stop the madness in Sweden. Well, 5 days ago, Migrationsverket released its prognosis on cultural enrichment of Sweden for 2016. Between 70,000 and 140,000 of youths are to culturally enrich Sweden this year. Admittedly, it is slightly better than the 163,000 that was for 2015, but exactly within the ranges that I predicted last year when Stefan Löfven launched his new pack of measures. You're supposed to be shocked that I was right. Wait, you're still not shocked? Amazing. Now, some sources claim that Europe will be enriched with 10 more million youths just this year. Now, that's a bit extreme even by my standards, but I predict that unless something decent happens, remember, decent, not radical, Europe will most likely be enriched with at least 3 more million youths just in 2016 alone. By the end of 2016, I predict more will be shocked than that I was right again. You see, no matter how much I try to be sarcastic, reality tends to beat even the most harsh satire. The agencies to which most people used to look up to just 1 year ago in February of 2015 are now revealing themselves to be complete and utter jokes. My video on the refugee camp in Romania being shut down was the only source of information in English about the event for almost 3 days, in spite of the fact that the CNN, for instance, pays good money to have permanent employees here. The whole scale of values is simply being moved upside down. The most coherent investigations are now made by random dudes with a blog, while those paid with good money by the hard-working taxpayers need 7 months or more to come up with the absolutely revealing fact that there's Islamists amongst the refugees. Really, Germany? Really? 7 months ago, when I said exactly this on YouTube, butthurt Germans came in with the dislike brigade because heaven forbid someone is racist on the internet. Because we all know that thinking about the dangers of creeping Islamism is racist. Everyone knows it, it says so in the cathedral media, so it must be true. You know, that would be the same cathedral media that came in with the great investigative revelations of the Köln events, 6 days after the alternative media had already done the entire job for them. But hey, baby steps. Progress is a serious business. In this rhythm, we'll probably learn by midsummer from the cathedral media or from some other fancy secret service that indeed more than half of the refugees aren't exactly running away from any war or other catastrophe, man-made or natural, and are in fact merely economic migrants. It is still semi-racist to say this now, but it's slightly more acceptable than it was 7 months ago. Baby steps. Baby steps. The question is whether there's still enough time that can afford this baby steps approach. I don't know the answer to that, but I suspect we'll soon find out, one way or the other. That's all I had to say. Thank you for watching.